He's on board, he's grown a hand, and away we're getting ready for the national. So you're just, in your own mind, you're just hoping he has a nice experience.
I just want him back in one piece. He needed so much luck in the first circuit. I was right behind the middle of the field, right in the field there. I didn't watch it with T, and I didn't see her about a quarter of an hour after the race, which I regret. So I'd love to have watched it with her.
I was convinced. I don't know. I just was convinced he would just pull up, and I wasn't. I don't know. I just didn't have any good feeling about it.
The first horse who fell was a horse called Philip Hobbs's.
No, it was just to the side of him.
And Leighton said the one horse I'm not going to follow is that horse. And what did he follow? That horse. Thank God he fell the right way. Yeah. But anyway, he jumped the third ditch here. Was it third? No, it was the third now.
The horse in front with the sheepskin noseband there. I thought that was Many Clouds. I was stood watching in the paddock, and I went, he's unseated. So I then went walkabout. I didn't watch the race for a circuit and a half.
It was after jumping.
So when did you realise that you were still in it?
Well, by about Valentine's, second time round.
In the bar later on.
Oh, I was in a bar, but I must have stood behind a big...
After jumping the fourth, fifth, I thought, blimey, I cut my binoculars on him, and I thought, blimey, this horse is really taken to it.
He's always going to win.
And
travelling here.
No. I didn't see that. We'll talk about it when we get around the second circuit.
He's gone into the race with low expectations, just hoping he gets around with a view to next year.
Come back in one piece.
Just come back. You never expect to win a national.
It's such a...
It's the greatest race in the world, isn't it?
And in the greatest city.
Yes, of course. Let's not forget that.
That's an important point to make. That I think in horse racing, people often compare the Grand National and the Gold Cup, and they say the Gold Cup is the one they want to win, it's the blue ribbon, etc. But the Grand National really is the sport of horse racing's big showcase event.
Going on afterwards, and I remember talking to Skew and Lucinda afterwards, they said it is a life changer. But what I couldn't imagine in the next 4 or 5 days after this race is doing interviews on my phone from Hong Kong, Australia, America, and they all said, talking about it, and all they were saying was, I said, well, all I wanted to do when I started was to win a Cheltenham Gold Cup.
And Christopher...
What's that?
Christopher Heath.
No one had heard of the Cheltenham Gold Cup, but everybody in the world has heard of the Grand National.
And Christopher Heath is now living in America, has been for a long time. It was in the New York Times. Right. He read about it in the New York Times.
It's a world famous race. I bet you were thinking when these people ring you up, you weren't ringing me 5 or 6 years ago, were you?
That's what happens when you get a good horse.
Yeah,
exactly that.
So, what point during this race did you think, aye, we've got a chance here?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Really?
Jumping the water jump, between the chair and the water jump, I could see Leighton as I could read him. He's filling him up, and
not with water.
That's after.
And then I thought, blimey. And then I thought we were going to blow it because Aidan Coleman fell 4 or 5 out, which we'll get to in a minute. And we were in front. I thought we're far too far in front.
This was AP's last Grand National as well, wasn't it? Shut the front door. Shut the front door is just in front. I think just in front of you.
Yeah, he travelled too well. I think AP would be the first to admit. No, he didn't get home. He was doing too much there. Almost, I would say. I would think he did too much.
I'm not even watching at this point. I'm going walkabout.
I have no idea what's going on.
I'm going walkabout, trying to see where the loose horses come in.
So at this point, you still think?
I thought he'd unseated at the third.
So when did you find out?
When Many Clouds was mentioned.
Valentine's. I know when I heard.
It's Valentine's
Day.
I heard his name mentioned. I heard his name mentioned, and I went into a bar, and in this bar there are about 6 people. And suddenly they're coming to Valentine's, and there's Many Clouds still in with a shout, and I'm stood behind a big scouser going like this, hitting him on the arm. Big Liverpool gentleman going like this. Go on, Leighton.
Did he tell you?
What did he say?
He turned round after the last, and he went, "You're a bit effing emotional, aren't you?"
Brilliant. Well, you've got a great position there.
Yeah,
do you still think you're too far forward there?
No.
You're happy?
You can see Leighton now, he's taking your pull with him. Phil, don't want to hit the front, just fill him up.
But when you watch the head cam footage as well, he's always in a pocket of space, Lash. He's always in the right place.
But now, you every jockey would say, you hunt for the first circuit, and then you ride a race at the second circuit. And you're now in a position and travelling
No, it's the business end.
Now it's coming into business, exactly.
Well, it's still a long way to go from
Yeah, it
here,
is, but you sort of...
Well, you know he's in a rhythm now.
How did Leighton describe the ride round to you?
I don't know if he did.
I don't know, but if you watch the headcam footage back, I don't know which one's the ditch. I think it's not that one. I think the next one is a ditch.
Yeah.
And you listen to the thing, Leighton jumps it and he goes, whee! Like that. So you can hear he's really enjoying the whole sort of, the spin he's getting off in there.
Yeah.
And he went, whee!
Funnily enough, you speak to Leighton, if he was sat here, Pinot Noir, the year before, which he went on, was really hard work. For him. He was knackered, Leighton, after that. This fellow was much more of a traveller. Pinot Noir was tiny, or compared to Clouds, and he had to work at every fence.
And he was doing lighter, and I think he really had to work hard on him, to get him round.
Well, he's enjoying it this time round.
Yeah.
He's got a great position. He's going the shortest
rhythm.
way.
He's into rhythm now.
I remember seeing the race and that jump there. I thought he's not going to be out of the three, many Clouds, because he will just keep rolling.
Well, fun enough, AP said that. He said, I followed many Clouds enough times to know that he'd keep galloping. Even when he was right behind or right beside him, going up to Valentine's. Where's AP there now? Oh, there's
just
AP, yeah,
behind
just
you on the
behind
outside,
us on the outside, exactly.
You do win, by the way. You look tense the 2 years.
I haven't seen it very often.
There's Ruby.
Ruby's helping out.
Helping out.
Yeah.
Now, it was here when Aidan fell on Narmal Holland. Was it Narmal Holland's horse?
Druid's
Druid's
nephew.
nephew. Is it this one or the next one?
And we ended up, no, it's a bit later on, a couple of fences later on.
Next fence, I think, isn't it? And then you're in front.
And then we're in front. But
Yeah.
thank goodness, it's just luck of it. Leighton
Look
just
at him.
pulls out.
Look at him going to the side of
Leighton
him.
just pulls out. If he'd stayed behind then,
Yeah.
he'd have been brought down.
And he just
Yeah.
slithered.
Just slithered. Now we're in front. And I think I
You
won't
can't
say
win
I
front.
there's no way of hitting.
He can't
We're far
keep-
too in front.
And he's carrying 11.9, remember?
Yeah.
11-9.
Yeah.
There's AP, thinking AP, right? I thought he'd done too much.
He-
But I was looking at other horses behind us who were going as well. I knew we had to be. Do you know what I was honestly thinking? And looking at the first 5, 6, we'd get prize money.
You're thinking we'll get prize money. Your wife's beating some poor scouser up in the bar.
Leighton's trying to just bring him back in one place.
I actually, going to second last, and this is another, I didn't see the last two fences. I turned my back to this.
Did you?
And
So
I know.
you're just listening?
I was just listening.
And Leighton said one
Shaking,
thing.
and I'm pretty good watching it. All horses at racing. I just what happens. But I was shaking.
What about Trevor? Where was he watching you?
I
You're not
haven't
with
got a
him.
clue.
I think he always
You're all
watches it in the
separate
same
Paddock.
place.
No, he was in the paddock with Minty, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't. He was on the stands because they showed him the next day or later. They showed him and Catherine in the stand.
I'll have a tenner.
All right, I didn't see him in the paddock.
Trevor, can you
I thought
contact
it was-
Minty turned round.
No.
Shook him. Did it when they
All
passed the
right,
winning
I thought
post.
that was the next year. Anyway, I don't know. But
This is 2 out, so you stop watching.
I turned my back.
And I was
R
punching somebody.
on the
You're
outside.
punching
Shut the
someone.
front door. The only possible winners are in the front
and
three. aren't
Leighton's
they?
going to
Three.
the last thinking, don't mess it up, don't mess it up, don't mess it up, don't mess
Pop
it up.
it.
He could have gone round again. Look at him. So you'd actually stop watching, Oliver?
Yeah, I just
And
listened to
it-
the commentary. I promise
Really?
you.
And then look at
Absolute
Paddy
promise
coming in a minute. Paddy's horse
Just
starts,
the
Centaur
nerves.
starts running.
No, but just you don't. There's a national. You don't
You
win
don't
nationals.
think you're going to win a national?
Well, you do.
And you see as a minute as well, halfway up, you see Tom Garner.
Yeah, Tom Garner, James
And
Severin.
James Severin, who works for me, who was leading up another horse we had up there, running beside him.
In a
Really?
second, you'll
Any
see
second
them.
now.
On the inside.
On the inside course, you'll see two lads starting to run along the side. Of
Now there, see?
Yeah.
There, those three boys. Those are
All work
that's
for
Tom
us.
Garner and James
They're
Severin.
part of your team, so
Yeah.
that is brilliant.
And then there was, I don't know who was behind me, I can't remember. I was shaking, walked back down. You bumped into Evan Williams straight
Evan
away.
Williams is the first person I saw, and he just gave me a massive hug and said, "You've just won the national," and just gave me a kiss. And then I actually started to cry because it hadn't registered at that point.
Did you think back to the film?
That music came into my head.
Lovely.
No, it was amazing. But this is the only sad thing about it now.
Yeah.
They should have taken him straight into that fantastic facility they have. They have a cool room with misting
Yes.
facilities. If they'd taken him straight in there, nobody would have even...
Been
he
bothered.
would have recovered much quicker. Whereas because they didn't and they were trying to interview him people saw this and it distressed some people, and then when
Did it?
he did die, they thought it was related to this, and it was not related to that.
But and I got.
You can see him. You can
You can see him wobbling,
yeah, he's
and
got a wobble.
he hit CJ in the stomach in the moment. He goes with his head and hits CJ straight in the stomach.
It's extraordinary to know that a horse's feet is overheated like that,
And he's a black horse too, and it was
and he's
warm.
galloping the way he has. at
There
the
they
end.
are.
There they are. But that's in the paddock.
Is it? It looks as if they're on a stand. Oh well, fair enough.
Yeah, me a tenner.
Yeah, tenner.
I'll take it out of my wages.
Paddy, look at Paddy. Look at that for camaraderie.
And
You don't-
Paddy was so
Yeah.
lovely afterwards. I mean, he just was so pleased for Leighton. It was lovely.